And good morning, Hoosier Nation. Welcome to another victorious edition of Hoosier Morning After. This is Hoosier Morning After Minnesota. Sorry for the delayed game show on this one. Had a birthday party to go to and was unable to watch the game live. Did watch it after the fact yesterday morning. Always interesting when you get to watch a game when you know the outcome. It was definitely a lot more relaxing to watch this game when I opened social media and saw that Indiana had won by 30 points. Took a lot of the guesswork out of watching it, but Indiana in this one would go on to win 77-47, a very much needed win at this point where things sit. The record right now for Indiana sits at 18-12 on the season, 9-10, close to 500. A very important game coming up against Ohio State to bring us to 500. We'll talk about that in a minute, but very much needed game at this point, going on a 4-game losing streak. Still at home, senior night, last game of the season in Assembly Hall against a very depleted Minnesota team, although I won't take too much from that because they did handle business at home in their previous game against UCLA, but a much needed win and blowout on senior night. Biggest struggle that Indiana did face in this team, though, did come from Coach DeVries holding back his tears as he hugged Tucker when he subbed out at the end of the game, realizing I got to keep coaching, got to keep the game face on there. What a beautiful moment that was. Some great videos. I retweeted a video that one of the news stations had at that moment. It's really always sweet and great to see the human moments in the sport that we cheer on. We're used to kind of watching the stuff on the court and everything, but was a game that was never truly in question. There was a point in the first half where Minnesota was able to bring it within 3. Indiana went on a bit of a scoring drought, really kind of forced some things at that moment. But after that, it truly wasn't a game in question at all. Indiana cruises to the win, gets some rotation guys in there, gets some minutes for Trent Sicily and other players that have been wanting to see out there. So a great win, great situation, handled some great things in that. Thank you for being here with us. I'm your host, Chad Schwarzkopf. We'll see if Martha might be able to pop in with us, but a quick show to kind of recap where we are, what we saw in this game, things that I liked, some other things that were interesting that I saw during the telecast and everything. I don't mean to bring up some tough moments to talk about, but we'll get into that at some point in the end. And defense, I think, in this game was a good kind of nursing moment. When you look at it, the switching and communication was so much better in this game compared to what we were doing in the Michigan State game. There were a lot of times during that Michigan State game where it felt like Indiana was able to kind of closely start to crawl back, or at least got in within single-digit striking zone. And then it was really the defense, miscommunications or a bad possession when Indiana needed to continue to get stops that caused things to kind of swing back in Michigan State's direction. Not at all the case in this one. I feel like Indiana did a fantastic job switching on plays when they need to. Obviously, this Minnesota team is a better matchup from a talent standpoint for Indiana. They're down, obviously, 3 players running with just 6 guys. So obviously you have that, but I think on a matchup basis, a much better team than a Michigan State with so much more athleticism, so much more talent on the roster. And you could see that. So great fundamentals, great staying with guys, great switching on defense. So a good building game going into a very important game coming up this weekend. Offense as well. Minnesota, we kind of knew with the depleted roster that they had and how they've played previously, they were going to be coming out in the zone. And they played pretty much 40 minutes of zone. They went to man at one point in the game, but Indiana did a great job handling that zone, dealing with the pitfalls and things that normally happen with a zone. And what it allowed Indiana to do is create a season high for Alexis. Alexis was able to feed on that. When you have a good big man, you can get those great back screens. When you get the ball to that free throw area, great little dump downs happened a lot between Tucker and Alexis. I'd love to see the assists between those two. It would be interesting to deep dive into that in this game. But yeah, Alexis, a season high for him, 21 points on 9 for 11 from the field, 5 for 8 from the free throw line. Free throws still a tiny bit of a struggle for him, but 9 rebounds. Did a great job getting those, and 2 blocks for him. So very successful game for him. When he has been averaging on this season 8 points, obviously higher as we get on this backside of the season, but a great game for him, a great success builder, and someone that we're going to need those moves and that strength that he has given Indiana down below. He is our best option there down below as well. And like I was saying, I think the other person that had a feast with this zone was Tucker. He's kind of the perfect player offensively to handle the zone. As most of you know, to break a zone, one of the most basic ways to break a zone is you get the ball in the middle. It collapses the zone in and allows for either dish outs to a guy hitting 3 or a dump down to a guy like Alexis. And you want usually your 4 guy tends to go and do that. That happens to be obviously Tucker, one of the most, the highest basketball IQ guys on Indiana's team. So that just kind of allowed for Tucker to kind of feast in that middle part of the zone there. And it kind of shows. He finished the game with 5 assists on the game, only behind Connor Enright, who again tends to be the assist guy on Indiana's team at 8 assists for him. But good game for him. 13 points, was the 3rd leading scorer for Indiana, 5 for 10 from the field, 3 for 5 from the 3-point line for Indiana. Just 1 turnover to those 5 assists, 9 rebounds as well. So he was feasting down below as well, getting those rebounds. But just a great senior night for him. A great moment for him to excel. You saw him talking a lot on defense as well, running that and just being a great floor general. And against the zone again as well, having that general of your team initiating a lot of that offense from the middle of that zone is where you get 30-point wins, is where that thing's success. And then again, like I said, in the open, just a great moment to be able to have that curtain call with his dad and have that hug and everything. And again, I repeat, go to Twitter. You can see I retweeted it and everything. Just a great video of him coming out, giving the hugs down the line to the coaches, getting to his dad. You could see Darren tried to make it a quick hug and everything and fighting back those tears. So just love to see those emotions in the game and everything as well. And because of that lead, obviously coming out of the Michigan State game, been a lot of communication on Twitter and a lot of talk about the booing of the team and booing of Reed Bailey and everything like that. I've voiced my opinion in a tweet and everything like that. I never enjoy that. It just kind of adds to that level of toxicity on social media and everything's around fans. Again, you're free to do what you want, freedom of speech, whatever. If you want to do that kind of things, I just am not a fan of the booing. Let's try to keep positive. The whole thing of if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. That's what I'm going to do. Yes, voice it once, but don't just sit there and beat a dead horse with things. But then you get this game, and I think those of you that were in attendance there, maybe you can correct me on it, but it appeared at least that there was some course correction in this as far as Reed Bailey. Obviously, he didn't play too much in this game. Reed Bailey ended up getting just 9 minutes in this. He scored 4 points in that time, was 2 for 3 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. In 12 minutes. So ended up being a +9. So he saw some success and he had in those 2 baskets, he was aggressive with the ball. Obviously that's the big clip that Ant had out and everything was him going against Fears and he didn't attack the basket. Well, obviously he realized some of that or saw that or whatever. Maybe he didn't see that, but he attacked more in this. And that was good to see from him because that's what we hoped to see from him throughout the year. Was that attacking mentality, and we knew he could be good off the bounce. There was one moment where he did, and it was that turnover that he had, where he did try to attack, and he has the moments where his hands aren't the greatest, and sometimes if he's not sure with his drive, the ball gets knocked out easily. And I think that is his one turnover where he got a little overly confident, didn't quite have the feet under him that he needed, and things got knocked out, and hence the one turnover. But that being said, the successes he had, you heard some extra cheers from the student section and everything like that. Now, hopefully those weren't in the realm of jeers, negative cheers, that is, but hopefully a confidence booster and everything, because we do need some good minutes from him off the bench to spell Sam Alexis, who obviously is going to be our starter from here on out and is our best option down below. But you don't want a huge fall off when Reed Bailey goes in there. So good to see a relatively successful moments for him, ticking back in the good direction, and we'll need it down the stretch. So here we go for that. Connor Enright continues to be the guy, just dishing out the ball, creating havoc and everything in the game. Was great defensively. Finished the game, honestly, the highest in plus minus at 33 for Indiana in 33 minutes. So there's a mirrored stat. Interesting to see. Like I said already, he had 8 assists in this game, 5 rebounds, 4 points for him, 2 for 4 from the field. Took a 3. Again, you're going to have a token 3 or 2 from him. He doesn't hit him at a high clip, but he's going to have open ones, and I'm fine with him taking those. Help to make your defense have to stay honest on you. So good job being the contributor, not getting mixed up in the zone, 0 turnovers. So when you get 8 assists and 0 turnovers from a point guard, that's fantastic. Obviously, again, you'd love your point guard to be a little bit more scoring of a point guard, but that's picking at hairs, and that's the kind of games that we're going to get from Connor Enright. So good to see from him. Lamar, a 16-point scoring game from him on 6 for 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, got a little careless with the ball, obviously a little higher turnovers than you normally see from him, on 2 rebounds for that. Just kind of played within the game. The game was more in the paint on this one. That's why you see 23 points from Alexis and 16 from Lamar. He took advantage of the moments that he did got to the paint himself sometimes, and took some threes. So, I mean, it just kind of stayed within the realm of what the game is coming for him as well. Finishing out the starters, Nick Dorn in double digits again. Again, if Indiana wants to have success and win, I think Nick Dorn has to be double digits every night at least. He got 11, just over double digits in this one, 4 for 9 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3-point line. So obviously, again, all of his shots continuing to come from the 3-point line, except for one that he did take down there. He did get that one though, so that's good to see. Again, picking hairs with him, splitting hairs with him. I would like to see some more paint touches from him. He is athletic, so I think he does have that ability to get downhill, and it's only going to open up his 3 points that much more. It's kind of within his game that I am shocked we don't see him very often go for the pump fake on the 3 and then drive in. I would like to see it more from him. That's something that obviously in any sort of scouting report, if I'm playing against Indiana, I'm telling my player that's on him to guard that 3. He's gonna only take threes. I mean, in this game again, eight shots from 3, only 1 from 2. So you're gonna want to reject or put the hand up or play that 3 shot so much more. So Nick Dorn, just a little shot fake, a little something, you're going to get your guy airborne. You're going to get him off balance, and you have enough. I'm confident enough in his ball handling skills that he's going to be able to get to the rim and score from there. So hopefully we can see that more from him. He is, again, instrumental. And I maybe I'm driving that home too much from all the players, but with the talent and the roster that we have, there's lots of things that have to go right, especially against higher talent, to pull out those successes. So that's the formula. We got to have double digits from him, and I think he needs to find a little bit more of his paint touches, a little bit more drives, because we don't have many guys that go north-south and are scoring threats. Sure, Connor Enright gets into the paint, is able to drive into the paint. It's probably It'd be interesting to see. I don't know if you can ever track this, but I would easily argue that probably about 75% of the time when Connor Enright drives to the paint, he's dishing it off. He's not going up for the shot. Yeah, he does get a few of those layups. Again, evident in this game, 2 for 4 from the field, where those two made shots are from two. But you need the guy that's going to be more of a threat to score those. And that can be Nick Dorn. And he can add that to his game. So it'll be interesting to see. That could be an offseason thing as he looks at tape and everything like that. Could be something he adjusts at the end of this year. But Nick Dorn, if you're listening, which you probably 100% aren't, shot fake, buddy. Let me see some shot fake and drive it in there, because I think you've got that in you. That's it for the starters. Not too much from the bench. Like I said, we were able to get some minutes for Trent Sicily, which was good to see. Reed Bailey, like I mentioned, he got in there, had some success. Miles went in as well and just kind of is good kind of energy bench guy. Took one shot and made that, got 2 rebounds, had 2 fouls. So he had 2 quick fouls, did get a block in this game. So a relatively good game for him. Tatum Conaway got in there and didn't do much again. I hate to hark on him. Obviously, we had the injury with him. We saw a lot of success at the beginning of the Big Ten season from him. He was that guy getting down in the paint, just a speedster, getting around his players, scoring at the rim like crazy. Finishes with just 2 points in this game on 2 for 1. One made basket. I think that was close to the rim. I'd have to look back to see. I don't remember where he made that. Took 1 3 that he missed. Just 1 rebound, no assists, 1 turnover. 8 minutes is all he had, and he was the only player on Indiana's roster in the negative and plus minus at -5. And it's interesting. Like, let me say something positive first before I get into this, because I hate sharing this. I hate bringing this up, but I think it needs to be said and maybe talked about or brought up. And I don't want it to stack on and dog this player down, because if he can get back to what he was before, maybe it can be a big key to Indiana going farther in March, and Indiana having success this weekend in Ohio State game as well. But it's always great. Let me start on a positive. It's always great on senior nights when you have a game that you're having a blowout, that you're beating a team by a lot of points. It allows you at the end of the game to sub them out one by one, give them the curtain calls, give them that great moment to come out of the game, hug the coaches as you go down. Home crowd can give them their cheers and everything independently. And that's what was supplied in this game. And you saw that going, and then you saw the emotional moment, like I said many times already, between Tucker and his dad. And on the telecast, they were covering these moments. And each player, as they came out, went down the line and gave each coach a big hug, and then dapped up the players, hugging a few players as they went down the line as well. Except for Tatum. And the video caught that. I don't know if many of you caught that as well in it. When Tatum went out, and again, who knows? Maybe I'm reading too much into this and all that. When Tatum came out, as he went by each of the coaches, it was a quick dap up and dap up down the line and then back to his seat. I hate to read too much into that. I hate to think that that's something is going on there, that there's something mentally that's checked out there, but I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks. And again, I hope I'm wrong on this, but maybe it reads to a lot of the lack of success and stuff that's going on right now, that there's just something going on. Something going on with him. Yeah, Jim, I see in chat there, you're bringing that up as well. Yeah, you saw it too. So it just, yeah, alarm bells go off there. And it's a damn shame. Again, that is a damn shame, because of what he was able to supply with this team earlier in the season. What he was able to do for the team, filling that gap of being that downhill scorer, that touch of the paint. Because again, if you're a team that doesn't have that big guy threat, we talk about a lot on this show, and I've talked about it a lot. When you're on offense, you want to create gravity. You want to create things that pull players, pulls the defense to one side, be it screens, be it scoring threats, that opens up balls to switch and get open shots to other guys. In the zone, in this game, it's Tucker DeVries receiving the ball at the free throw line. That brings gravity into him, allowing him to dish out to three-point scorers, to dish down to Sam Alexis to hit those threes. This team is a team that obviously is set up to hit shots on the outside. And that is prevalent on needing a big guy down below that brings gravity. That was what we had from Trace. Trace brought gravity down below. Unfortunately, in his teams, we didn't have the three-point scoring that we have on this team to be able to kick it out to. And a way to get around that, now Sam Alexis is supplying some of that now, but the way to get around that is having a guy that can get down into the paint, can drive past his man, and is a scoring threat at the basket. So once he beats his man, help side has to come. That creates gravity, and that causes kick out to shooters. That's what Tatum has been throughout the beginning of the Big Ten for us, and what has been lacking, honestly, in this 4 games losing stretch that we had. That along with obviously other factors. So it's hard to see. It's tough to see moments like that and see things go away of what could be a difference maker in the game. And again, sideline coaches, sideline reporters, nothing. I'm not in there. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in practices. I'm not in the heads of these players. So we can only speculate things, and we can only comment on things that we see. And the thing that I saw there was not good. And I did not like that. And that's above all the energy I come to that with, is just as the disappointed parent. And that's a disappointing thing to see. Hopefully we can find that. Hopefully a switch can get turned. And again, Tatum, if you're listening to this, come on, man, you've got it in you. Just fight through whatever this mental block is, whatever, put it aside. This is your last eligible year as a college player. This is your last outing out there. Don't look back on these moments. Don't look back on this as a 40-year-old like me, as having this regret of, why did I let this or that affect me? And what did I miss out on? What if I was able to bury that, if I was able to put that aside and fight and get back to it, what could have been? You don't want to have that. And that's what's sad in this moment. So that's why I'll leave it. Let's not let this moment kind of turn into a Reed Bailey type moment. Let's not boo him. But again, seeing that little glimpse of things, as we've talked about in past shows and past games, of why haven't we seen more of him and everything, just kind of again shows that there's obviously something there. There's obviously something going on that we don't know about. We're not completely privy to, but yeah, I've dwelled on it enough. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on to some stats. Great discourse, guys. Jim and Gritty talking in the chat, by the way. Obviously, yeah, it is what it is. Stats in this one. One of the best ones to see, obviously, I did a quick calculation on this. Indiana, 57% from the field in this one. A great 42% from 3 on 10 for 24. A really great one with, like we said, with Alexis having his success, and what the zone gave us was our shooting percentage on twos in this game. Indiana was 21 for 30 from 2, an impressive 70% from twos in this game. So great to see that as well. Also, a constant negative that we've talked about on this show has been Indiana's rebounding, and Indiana took care of it in that regard, going 21-9 in the rebounding margin. Assist to turnover, my favorite stat this year, and will probably continue to be in the Darren DeVries era of Indiana basketball is the assist to turnover or assist to made baskets stat. Pretty good in this one. It's been a tough one to track in the last couple games, but 17 assists to 31 made baskets in this game. So love seeing that for Indiana. And just no one really, except for Lamar, in foul trouble as well. So a great defensive game on the switching side. Most players just with 2 fouls in this game. Lamar did finish with 4. Got a little handsy on it. He was kind of switched up on their guard for the most part and everything like that. He's usually not on the on-ball ball handler guy. So I will say that that's probably where that factored in for Indiana. But yeah, the scoring is what you take stat-wise the best from this game, where Indiana finished on a 1.328 points per possession in this game and almost a 0.5 in the first half for Indiana. So good game all around in that regard for Indiana. So happy to see that. And just a building block moving forward, which obviously moving forward, we look at the game we have on Saturday. And a very important game that is, where Indiana needed to get this Minnesota game just to chalk it up as another W on the season as far as resume wise. That's kind of, as we've said, where Indiana sits. And this Ohio State game being a quad 1 win would be fantastic. Yes, but also another win that we just need on the resume period. But equally so, where Ohio State and Indiana currently sit almost in the same spot as far as tournament bubble. And you kind of may see the selection committee, if it comes down to looking at these two teams, they may look at this head-to-head matchup. So very important game. It is a Saturday game, a 5:30 p.m. game on Fox. I don't think this game as well, though, does anything to win or lose Indiana's status in the Big Ten tournament. I think we still have the first bye clinched, so at least have that. But a big win this could be. And Thornton's senior night for him, they've got a great leader and point guard out of him, so he is going to come out really strong. And again, this is a team that has had some struggles in the Big Ten, in the middle part of the Big Ten, but has been surging recently, beating Purdue, having that home win against Purdue at their home, I should say, Ohio State's home. So a very interesting game moving forward, and one that we need to find, we need to get, and we'll see our fates from there. I've talked to many or seen many bracketologists talk about Indiana being on the bubble, and this one could be the one that kind of pushes them into that feeling a little more comfortably in. You at least kind of take a little bit of stress out of what the team needs to do moving forward in the Big Ten tournament. So I'll be tuning in, gripping tightly, clenched fist, watching this game. Hopefully a successful win for Indiana. Either way, we'll be back with you for Hoosier Morning After on Sunday morning. We'll get Martha on that one as well, and I'll work on getting us another guest. We haven't had too many guests on the program this year, so we'll get someone to join us for that show as well. But thank you for tuning in on this one. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe as well. Share it with your friends and everything. We'll be back again that Sunday morning. If you're watching on the podcast streams as well, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, a rating, all that stuff as well. We'll be back again the morning after the next show. Until then, guys, go out there, have yourselves a wonderful day, and let's go to